Yeah. Good morning, beta.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, it's almost afternoon, right? Yes. Good afternoon. Well, so we go ahead with the animal tissues chapter that we had started in the last two classes. We had seen, I think, so up to pseudostratified we had seen, and now we have to see from pseudostratified epithelium. If I'm not wrong, kindly correct me. Just see this.
Yes, ma'am.
है ना? हाँ,
To
we
go
have to
ahead
start.
from
Yes,
pseudocyte.
we have to start from the pseudostratified epithelium. So we'll start from the pseudostratified epithelium. So we are completed with the simple tissues, and we are on the verge of moving ahead with the compound tissue. है ना? But before that, there is a link between the two that is called as pseudostratified. Now, what do you mean by this word pseudostratified? Pseudo means false. है ना? Stratified means layered. So it's falsely layered. It appears to be layered, but it is actually not going to be layered. That is going to be your pseudostratified. So let's see. Pseudostratified, it appears bilayered as two types
Ma'am,
of
we finished pseudocertified.
we have
Yes,
sure.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Great, if we have finished. Have we completed the modifications?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think from here we have to start then. Special types of
Yes, ma'am.
okay, good, good. So we'll start with the special type of epithelium. Now see beta, these things again, as I'm saying, these are not going to be included in your textbooks. They are not there in the textbooks, but these are important from our future study point of view. Whatever career we are going to go ahead with, if we are going to go ahead with the medical career or with the research career or with anything, this is one of the stages which has to be known to all of us being bio students. So these things has been included. The first is neurosensory epithelium. As the name says, neurosensory. So of course it is going to be present where, look at the location. In between the pilar shaped supporting cells, modified sensory cells would be present. On the free end, sensory hair are present. So on the free end means not on the basal layer. Okay. On the free end side, there will be the sensory hair that would be present. And at the base of this, so this would be the basal layer. We have already seen the structure of the basal layer. So below the basal layer, okay, there will be attachment of the sensory nerves. So what will happen? What will happen? These sensory hairs will pick up the stimulus, and they will compress the basement membrane, which in turn will compress the sensory nerve present behind it or below it. And in this way, the signal will be passed on. Fine. Where are they present? See, example, gustatory epithelium, which is going to cover the taste buds of the tongue and receive the taste का sensation. तीखा है, मीठा है, खट्टा है. कैसे समझता है हमें? How is it going to be felt, right? So this is going to be because of this neurosensory epithelium present on our tongue region. Olfactory epithelium. Olfactory epithelium is associated with the Cnidarian membrane of our smell sensations. So olfactory epithelium, the Cnidarian membrane receives the smell sensation.
Ma'am,
Statoacoustic. Huh?
ma'am, I had to ask that.
I didn't get you, Beta.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, sorry, my internet connection is a little unstable. I had to ask that olfactory, when the word comes, we always, like, at least I always think that it's something about the ear. And even sometimes I have experienced that whenever something is wrong with the nose, ear also get blocked, like blocked. Why is it that so? Like, why ears and nose are connected or something?
Yeah. Internally, they are going to be connected. There are going to be certain, क्या कहते हैं, ways which are going to be common, and then they will part apart. So they will be internally, we all are internally, all the organs are interconnected, but specifically our ear, nose, and throat are three structures which are generally interconnected with one particular purpose and cause. So that is olfactory.
Okay, ma'am.
The next one is statoacoustic. Statoacoustic is going to be with the internal ear. So whatever is going to be, I'm going to talk about the entire description of the ear. I'll be doing it There is organ of Corti which is present, and there is something called as the Resnier's membrane that is present, and how this epithelium is helping in actually processing the words that we hear or the sound that we hear. How is it actually going to get processed? Is something we'll be talking in detail about the ear as well eventually. When I'll be teaching your neural control and coordination ka chapter, that time I'll talk about it. Okay, like that day I showed you the structure of eye. See, the retina of eye receives optic sensation. That is what I showed you. I think you all were there with me when I showed you the eyeball. Were you all there
Yes,
with me?
ma'am. It was
Ah,
very interesting.
yeah, you all saw right how the eyeball is, where exactly would be the retina and all. So in the same way, I'll be showing you about the ear also. Even the ear will be doing it in detail very beautifully. So that time these things will be all the more clear to understand. But that time I use the word the neurosensory epithelium is present at this location. That time you should know what is this neurosensory epithelium. Okay. So I'm just putting those things, compiling those things together under the epithelium. B is myoepithelium. Myoepithelium is going to be around the mammary glands and the sweat glands specifically. Then we have got pigmented epithelium. Pigmented will be in again, pigmented means associated with color. So it's going to be present in the retina of the eye. They are cuboidal in shape. So the cuboidal epithelium and the pigmented epithelium is almost the same. Then
Ma'am,
finally we come to compound epithelium. Yeah.
these neurosensory and myoepithelium, these epitheliums come in under simple epithelium, right? Like they have only one layer, right?
That is simple epithelium. That is simple epithelium. Now we are coming into compound epithelium. Okay. So compound epithelium, as the name says, it's going to be multi-layered. It's going to be multi-layered. First, under compound epithelium is going to be, like this classification of first and second is based on stretchability. The one which can stretch, the one which is elastic, is going to be called as transitional epithelium. And the one which is non-stretchable, it's stiff. Okay, it's quite stiff. It is going to be called as stratified epithelium. So under compound, being stretchable or not being stretchable, we have got two types. Okay? So first is the transitional epithelium, which is stretchable epithelium. You can see the diagram of the stretchable epithelium or the transitional epithelium on your screen very clearly. It is multi-layered. देखो ऐसे एक के ऊपर एक multi-layered structure है उसमें, है ना? It is the only tissue in which basement membrane is absent. So this is a famous question that is asked in your competitive exams, especially in strike the odd one out. Strike the odd one out में बाकी सारे epithelium जितने भी epithelium हैं, all are going to be attached with the basement membrane. This is an exception. This is an exception. Okay. So innermost layer directly rests upon the underlying connective tissues. नहीं तो हमेशा एक बीच में बेसमेंट मेम्ब्रेन की लेयर आती है between the connective tissue and the epithelial tissue, है ना? बट ये जो ट्रांजिशनल एपिथेलियम है इसमें बेसमेंट मेम्ब्रेन एब्सेंट है. So directly the epithelial tissue and the connective tissue come in contact with each other, right?
Why don't
In this epithelium, 4 to 6 layers of cells are going to be present. Innermost layer of the cells is composed of tube-like structures. Middle 2 to 4 layers are composed of pear-shaped or umbrella-shaped structures. Outermost 1 or 2 layers are oval-shaped structures. Now these are the ways they are aligned. कोई ऐसे है, कोई वैसे है, कोई कैसे है. In general, they are going with the flow. These different shape of cells appears only in the resting phase. When they are going to be stretched, they are not at resting phase, right? Resting phase means when they are not going to be stretched. So उस stage को हम कहते हैं resting. जब हम इसको खींचते हैं ना बेटा, so when we actually pull them, they lose their shape and orientation. That is stretchable epithelium, है ना? So it can be stretched, right? So in the resting phase only these different shapes of the cells can be experienced. When this tissue is stretched, all the cells become flat. All the cells become flat. And outermost layer, a thin cuticle is present which makes this tissue waterproof. So ये जो cuticle होता है ना, ये जो cuticle होता है, it is made up generally of a protein called as cutin, CUTIN. तो ये जो क्यूटीन प्रोटीन है ये जो है ये एक्चुअली है ना वैक्सी लेयर होता है, ये जो क्यूटीन है ये एक्चुअली एक वैक्सी लेयर होता है, एंड बिकॉज इट इज वैक्सी, यू नो व्हाट वैक्सी ना, कैंडल्स आर मेड अप ऑफ वैक्स, है ना, so it is also a waxy thin layer. Now because of that it becomes water resistant, waterproof, water cannot percolate through it. Fine. The cells of these transitional epithelia are connected by interdigitation. We have seen all the connections already.
Ma'am,
1 minute, let me complete.
I got
Example is renal pelvis, ureter, urinary bladder, proximal part of the male urethra. So these are the areas which are continuously under the stretched mode. See, you can take the best example is urinary bladder. We say na कि bladder full हो गया है, right? Sometimes you have got an urgency of actually clearing the bladder out. It's very urgent, and when it is not possible, पेट में दर्द होने लगता है ना, तो ये जो bladder है, urinary bladder है, it is stretched, it has to be stretched because the urine is getting accumulated. So if this was not stretchable, if it was not stretchable, it would have been very difficult now. So it has to be stretched to its maximum capacity. So how is it going to be stretched? इतना वो बड़ा कैसे हो जाता है? Take the example of the renal pelvis also. The pelvic girdle का जो pelvis region है, even the renal pelvis region जो होता है, मतलब कौन सा? किडनी की बातें हो रही है. Renal pelvis is not the pelvic or the pelvic region of male and female, ऐसा नहीं. ये जो renal pelvis है, it is associated with kidney. When I'll teach you kidney, I'll show you there's going to be a space in that kidney shape case में एक जगह होती है, एक जगह होती है, उस point को हम कहते हैं renal pelvis. तो जब तक वो extend नहीं हो पाता है, तब तक ये urine formation होगा ही नहीं. So these require a lot of stretching. Ureters, they require stretching. Okay, so for this reason, for actual stretchability, it is imparted by this transitional epithelium. Fine. So best example where transitional epithelium is going to be found, of course, all of them, but urinary bladder, so we all know about it, right? So this is the reason that this transitional epithelium has to be present in all of us. Okay. It's also called as plastic epithelium. See, also called as plastic. Plastic means elastic, the one which can expand, stretch. Yeah. Someone was asking something. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I was asking that if there is no basement membranes, mean there is no hemidesmosome, right? As a cell junction.
Correct.
So I had a question that basement membrane acts as a divider between the epithelium tissue and the connective tissue. So if there is no basement membrane, why don't they get mixed or
if there is basement membrane, there won't be good stretchability. Basement membrane is stiff. Basement membrane cannot stretch. Basement membrane फट जाएगी, खींचने की कोशिश हो जाएगी तो, है ना, तो इसीलिए पूरा का पूरा स्ट्रक्चर आप स्ट्रेच कर रहे हो, और अगर बेसमेंट मेम्ब्रेन नहीं कर पाते हो तो लेयर, लोअर मोस्ट लेयर which is resting on the basement membrane won't stretch. So if it doesn't stretch, then it may cause damage to the basement membrane. So basement membrane अगर है so there will be difficulty for this to become operational, become functional. Fine. Yeah, what's your doubt? Can it tear after a certain point? It doesn't. It starts giving you pain. It starts giving you एक अलग वाला feeling that, देखिए ब्लैडर फुल हो जाता है ना, यूरिनरी ब्लैडर अगर फुल हो जाता है तो यू कैन फील दैट अर्ज ऑफ यूरिनेशन, right? And it is otherwise going to cause a continuous throbbing pain in your stomach. I don't know if you have experienced these or not, but if you're on a long journey, and especially females have got these issues because it becomes very difficult for a long road journey, especially for us to go ahead with like not getting the right place, not getting the right conditions and all. It becomes very difficult. So it doesn't break, but it starts paining, of course. Yeah. Yes, you are right, Sneha. Lowermost layer is highly permeable. You are right. Very right. Yes. Okay. Then we come to stratified epithelium. The true one. Now, the stratified one means the true one which is non-stretchable. It cannot be stretched. So the stratified epithelium possesses many layers of the epithelial cells. The deepest layers is made up of the cuboidal cells. On the basis of the shape, again, we have got 4 different types. Stratified squamous, stratified cubical, stratified columnar, stratified ciliated columnar. So, as we are seen simple, similarly it would be stratified. So, stratified का मतलब क्या है? Multi-layered, है ना? So, squamous epithelium was tile-like, tiles के जैसा था वो. तो ये भी tiles के जैसा होगा, लेकिन वो एक single layer था, इसमें भी multi-layered. Okay? So, it's very easy. If you have understood simple epithelium, stratified epithelium समझना is very easy. See, innermost layers of the cells are of cuboidal type. Stratified one we are talking about. Okay, I'll just take the pointer and I'll show you. I'm sorry. See here, if you see, here, this one they are talking about. This is the basement membrane. Beta. ये जो black वाला है, this is the basement membrane. उसके ऊपर you can see this cuboidal cells. Can you see these? Yeah. So the innermost layer of this epithelium is going to be cuboidal or it will be columnar. These cells have high mitotic index, means they are having very good capacity to divide by mitosis. They divide to form a layer of stratified epithelium. So this layer is called as germinativum layer. Continuous नए layers बनते जाते हैं. Middle layers are made up of polygonal cells. You can see over here, these are the middle layers. They are made up of polygonal cells. ये देखो, ये वाले, है ना? These cells are interconnected with the desmosomes, which provide rigidity or mechanical support. I hope you all remember what are desmosomes along with the diagram. Cells of the outermost layer are scale-like flat. तो ये देखो, ये जो है ना, ये outermost layer के जो है, ये कैसे है? Flat है. Scales के जैसे flat है या tiles के जैसे flat है. So this is going to be your stratified squamous epithelium का structure. ये basement membrane है, नीचे ये connective tissue है, no doubt. Okay, so this is stratified squamous epithelium. On the basis of the presence or absence of the keratin proteins in the outermost cells, this epithelium is further divided into 2 types: keratinized, non-keratinized. If there is going to be a layer of keratin present on the outermost surface, we call it as keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. नाम लंबा लगता है रे, नाम से डर जाते हैं ना हम लोग, बाप रे इतना लंबा नाम. सिंपल, नाम बिल्कुल इजी है. If there is presence of keratin, we say keratinized. Stratified, multi-layered. Squamous, tiles के जैसे layers बनते हैं, shape बनता है tiles के जैसा epithelium. Okay? No बच्चा, no बच्चा, no देवा. Stratified epithelium is a epithelial tissue. It is not a muscle tissue. Muscles अलग ही है. Muscles आगे पढ़ेंगे. उसमें भी keratinized है कुछ, but ये जो है, these are the tissues. These are the tissues. We will see where they are present, so you will come to know. Okay? See, the keratinized stratified. हाँ.
Actually, I got disconnected when you said keratinized stratified epithelium.
You can see. You will get the recording, beta. You will get the recording. I have just done one point, nothing much. I am just saying, based on the presence or absence of keratin, the squamous epithelium is again further divided. The stratified squamous epithelium is further divided into 2. Okay. So, hard waterproof keratin protein is present in scaly cells, and the cells become non-nucleated dead cells. So if there is presence of keratin tissue present, then what will happen? The cells below that will become non-nucleated and dead cells. Example, epidermis of the skin, scale, horn of animals. We don't have horns. Don't look at me. Horns. Our nails, of course. Feathers of the birds. They all are going to have these keratinized stratified epithelium present on them. And because of them, what will happen? They are going to be waterproof. देखिए feathers, you might have seen the birds, they, like, even if they are aquatic, they are going to go into water for catching their prey or whatever it is, or even when they get wet, वो है ना अपने feathers को ऐसे झटकते हैं ना, तो पूरा पानी निकल जाता है ना? देखा है आपने कभी ऐसा? तो क्यों ऐसा होता है? Why the feathers are waterproof? The main reason is presence of this keratin layer. So if this keratin layer is present, waterproofing automatically हो जाती है. हमारी skin, when we go for a bath, when we take a bath, after we come from bath, why don't we get swollen? हाँ, हम ऐसे swollen क्यों नहीं हो जाते हैं स्पॉन्ज के जैसा? ऐसे बल्ज क्यों नहीं हो जाते हैं भाई? इतना पानी, देखिए कोई कोई लोगों को नहाने के लिए बहुत टाइम लगता है, मस्त पानी के नीचे आधा घंटा बैठे रहते हैं, कुछ नहीं, सिर्फ आधा घंटा खड़े रहने का पानी के नीचे, होते हैं ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग. हाँ, तो आधे घंटे में तो कितना पानी अंदर जाके एकदम मस्त फूल के आना चाहिए वो बंदा बाहर. ऐसा नहीं होता ना. Not a single or drop of water is going to percolate inside. It's because of this keratin layer of the skin that is going to be waterproof. It will not allow the water to percolate inside. Okay, it's very important point. Okay, yeah, what's your answer? So one of my batchmate had this problem of having a very dry skin. So it means his skin had too much of keratin. Yeah, to some extent, yes, correct, correct. It becomes more flaky. Okay. Stratified epithelium has a basement membrane. Then how does it stretching? Skin is not going to stretch. Skin is not going to stretch. Only the upper layer will stretch, not too much. Imagine the stretching of your urinary bladder and stretching of your skin. There is a lot of limitation to it. Lot of limitation to it. You can squeeze it and come back to normal. You cannot stretch it. स्ट्रेचिंग नहीं होता है. देखिए अपनी स्किन को स्ट्रेच करने की कोशिश कीजिए. इधर से आपने कितना खींचोगे, इधर तक आएगा? नॉट पॉसिबल. ओके, सो बिकॉज इट्स अटैच विद द बेसमेंट मेम्ब्रेन. इट्स स्ट्रैटिफाइड ना बेटा. सो ऊपर के लेयर्स तो स्ट्रेच हो सकते हैं, लोअर लेयर्स तो स्ट्रेच नहीं होंगे, लिमिटेशन आ जाएगा. ब्लैडर कैसा है? पूरा का पूरा स्ट्रेच है फ्रॉम ऑल द साइड्स. ओके, या. Then, so when the cutin is present on the skin, something like that. It's keratin. It is called as keratin. Cutin was earlier part. This is keratin. Keratin is something different. Keratin is a different type of protein. Okay. Skin is not waterproof as feathers. It is not waterproof as feathers in the sense if you put a drop of water, will it soak inside? Will it get soaked inside? पानी अंदर चला जाएगा क्या स्किन के अंदर? कभी नहीं जाएगा बेटा, ट्राई करिएगा. पानी निकल जाएगा, ऊपर की तरफ से स्लाइड हो जाएगा या फिर ड्राई हो जाएगा. आपने थोड़ा बहुत पहुंच लिया तो वो निकल जाएगा, वो अंदर नहीं जाएगा. That means it is not going to have any leakage system. Even feathers also the same thing. Feathers are also waterproof. Our skin is also waterproof. वेट होता है, वेट तो कुछ भी वेट होगा, पानी डालोगे तो वेट होगा, लेकिन अंदर नहीं जाएगा ना. इट वोंट परकोलेट इनसाइड ना. इट विल नेवर अलाउ इट टू गो इनसाइड. वाटर अंदर जाएगा तो हम ऐसे स्वोलन बाहर आ जाएंगे आफ्टर द बाथ. या फिर इफ यू वॉश योर हैंड्स और अगर पानी अंदर जा रहा है तो अब बाकी नॉर्मल और आपके हाथ ऐसे फूले हुए है ना. हाँ,
I had to ask that, okay, the skin is waterproof, but whenever
Komal, your voice is sounding very low. I don't know what is the issue. You're sounding very very low. आपके आजू बाजू की आवाज अच्छी खासी आ रही है, लेकिन आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है मुझे.
now is it good?
हाँ, now it is better.
Okay, so actually my internet connection is very bad right now. So now my question is that if our skin is waterproof, oh my god, where am I?
So what will happen? It is waterproof. Our skin is. I can't hear her. You type your question if you want. Okay. So this is the keratinized one. The second one is.
Sorry, ma'am, I got disconnected. I'm so sorry. If our skin is waterproof, then what about ointments? When we get hurt, our doctor suggests us to give an ointment. How does that get absorbed in the skin?
That is not water based. That is not water based.
Oh.
It's generally it's going to be oil based.
What about iodex? Because that's also kind of wettish thing.
It is not going to be water based. You try to dissolve it with water, it will not dissolve in water. Try doing it. Take iodex and all and try to dissolve it in water. Will it dissolve in water?
I don't know. I guess not.
Never. They won't get dissolved in water. Okay? So they are not going to be associated with water. Water is not going to be allowed inside. In our skin, it's not. Okay, because of this keratin present. Right?
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
if it is keratin absent, so non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, non-stratified, stratified but non-keratinized. Keratin protein is absent. Cells are nucleated. They are living. Example: cells, buccal cavity of the oral cavity of the mammals. हमारा मुंह ओपन करने के बाद ये जो बकल कैविटी दिखाई देती है ना, आ करने के बाद, इसको हम बकल कैविटी कहते हैं. इसका जो लाइनिंग है, इसका जो लाइनिंग है, इट इज ऑल्सो स्ट्रैटिफाइड ओनली, स्क्वामस स्ट्रैटिफाइड ओनली, बट इट डज नॉट हैव केराटिन. इसलिए मुंह गीला रहता है अपना. सलाइवा के सिक्रीशंस की वजह से जो गीलापन है वो गीला का गीला ही रहता है. इट रिमेन्स वेट, right? Because it is stratified squamous, but it is not keratinized. Inner limbs of the cheek, inner lining of the cheek, गीला है कि नहीं, चेक कर लो. Inner lining of the lips, lining of the hard palate. Hard palate मतलब ऊपर का ये जो अपना ये ऊपर वाला रीजन है, देखिए टीथ के और टंग के ऊपर, मतलब परफेक्टली एट द सेंटर, हार्ड पैलेट कहते हैं उसको. Lining of the tonsils, you know where are the tonsils present, right? Lower part of the soft palate. ऊपर अगर आप ऐसे इधर से ये टीथ एरिया से पीछे पीछे तरफ अगर हाथ डालते जाओगे, तो at the rear end you can actually feel very soft tissue present. That is called as the soft palate. That is called as the soft palate. Then pharynx, esophagus, anal canal, lining of the vagina, cornea of the eye, they all are what? They all are stratified. They all are stratified squamous epithelia, but they do not have keratin present on them. And therefore, they are continuously remaining wet. They can remain wet. And they need to be remain wet also. Fine. So this is about the keratinized, non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Look at the diagram where very clearly you can see the presence and absence of the keratin layer. ये देखिए, look at this. This is a keratinized surface cell. You can see very clearly. Okay. Then you can see the nucleated flat cells, polyhedral cells, columnar cells along with the basal membrane at the base. Here you see ये चद्दर नहीं है इसके ऊपर ये चद्दर नहीं है, केराटिन की चद्दर नहीं है, right? So it is going to be directly seen as the cell which is going to be having living cells altogether. Dead cells are absent. Okay. Yeah, what's your doubt, beta? What does the small tongue at the back of our mouth do? It is actually an organ of bolus formation. When we'll talk about digestion chapter, I'll talk about that. Okay, I'll talk about that. Why is cornea of the eye need to be wet? There is something called as lens present in our eye, and it has to be continuously kept wet. Otherwise, it will become fragile and it will break. Okay, so there is something called as vitreous humor and aqueous humor present in our eye, which has to be always filled. Without this fluids, without this wetness, the eyeball का shape also cannot be maintained. So they are very, very important. Eye पढ़ाएंगे तब बताऊंगी. Lining of the lips is multi-layer. Yes, beta. Lining of the lips is multi-layer. Yes, you are right, Manan. Very correct. Very correct. Okay. So that's about the stratified squamous epithelium, keratinized and non-keratinized. Second one is stratified cubical epithelium or cuboidal epithelium.
Ma'am,
as the name says.
Why are lips red? Like the surrounding area is perfectly normal skin color. Why are the lips only that much part red?
It is because of pigmentation, but it is because of certain cells which are going to be present in a particular area. Wherever there requires more protection, that particular area will become more darker in shade. So these are basically because of the pigments that are going to be present, and they are not going to be present uniformly everywhere. In certain regions, there would be the higher pigmentation. In certain regions, there will be lower pigmentation. So it is because of the distribution of the pigments.
Also, when I was a kid, my parents and all other elders used to say, do not put lipstick, otherwise lips would become...
They contain chemicals. They contain
So
chemicals.
that makes the lips darker in color.
No, they are going to be having chemicals, so they will destroy these layers of your lips, and new layer formation will take a very lot of time. In young age, if the cells are damaged, they will never be replaced again.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
So the cubical epithelium or the cuboidal epithelium, as we say, outermost layer of the cells are cube-like. You can see the shape very clearly. They are cube-like, and middle layer will be polygonal. Example where this is going to be present: secretory duct of the sweat glands, mammary glands, sebaceous glands. So wherever there are glands, the cubical epithelium which is stratified is going to be present. Secretory units of the salivary glands, sebaceous glands, female urethra, that is the part of the anal canal also, and the conjunctiva of the eye. So the eye conjunctiva is going to have the stratified cubical epithelium densely packed. Columnar shape, cells देखिए हवा दे, just like long columns, एक के ऊपर एक, multi-layer. It consists of columnar cells in both superficial as well as the basal layers. देखिए दोनों जगह पर you can see superficial and the basal दोनों जगह पर है. Cells are nucleated, cilia absent at the free end. These type of cells will be predominantly found, or this type of tissue will be predominantly found in the distal part of the urethra, male urethra especially, and the epiglottis. You know where is the epiglottis, right? We have already
Like
started
structure.
with breathing and exchange, so you know about where is epiglottis present. Yes. So the stratified columnar epithelium is going to be present in epiglottis. All summarized together, this is the simple squamous one. This is the stratified squamous. This is stratified columnar. Look over here. All simples together. Simple cuboidal, single layer. Okay. Simple columnar, single layer. Pseudo stratified that we saw, single layer, but they appear to be double layered. This is stratified columnar, multi-layered, presence of keratin. You can see this yellow color, orange color ka layer, presence of keratin. So this is keratinized stratified squamous. And this is stratified columnar, stratified cuboidal, and transitional. Here we don't have the basal membrane present. Basal lamina sometimes might be there, but not necessarily going to be present. Fine. So this is about the all together how they look like. Fine. Whatever we have done till now. Functional classification of the epithelial tissues. Depending upon the functions, the epithelial tissue is classified on the following basis. First, germinal epithelium. We know, as the name says, and we have already done the entire chapter of this, so we know what we are talking about. So, germinal epithelium, it is going to be present in the testes and the ovaries. Its cells produces sperms and ova. Function ही है उसका. Pigmented epithelium, नाम से पता चल रहा है. Pigment means color. So this epithelium is going to be predominantly present in the retina of the eye. It possesses pigments which gives color to the retina. So ये ग्रे कलर है, ब्राउन कलर है, ब्लैक कलर है, ब्लू कलर है, ग्रीन कलर है, अलग अलग कलर हमें दिखाई देते हैं. तो सिमिलरली वो आइरिस के कलर्स जो दिखाई देते हैं उसमें भी ये पिगमेंटेड एपिथेलियम प्रेजेंट है. सेंसरी एपिथेलियम, इट इज फाउंड इन द रेटिना ऑफ द आई. लाइट को सेंस करता है. इंटरनल ईयर, साउंड वेव्स को सेंस करता है. नेजल चेम्बर, स्मेल को सेंस करता है. टंग, टंग टेस्ट से रिलेटेड है. It perceives stimulus and it conducts the impulse. So how the impulse is conducted in our ear and in our eye is a part of your chapter called as nervous system का एक chapter है, न्यूरल कंट्रोल एंड कोऑर्डिनेशन. उसमें हम देखेंगे. बहुत बढ़िया है, बहुत ही बढ़िया है. आई लव दैट चैप्टर. पूरा अपना ब्रेन, स्पाइनल कॉर्ड और उसका रिले सेंटर्स मीन्स कैसे एग्जीक्यूट होता है. जैसे कि just give me 1 second, I'll show you something which is very interesting. इसीलिए just give me 1 second, I'll get it to you. This is what I was talking about. See, this is the human brain. Can you see this in my hand? ये देखिए, ये अपना ह्यूमन ब्रेन है बेटा. ओके, ये जो ह्यूमन ब्रेन है, अगर आप देख सकते हो तो ये दो हेमिस्फीयर्स आपको दिखाई दे रही है. यू कैन सी द टू हेमिस्फीयर्स. ऑफ कोर्स वी कैन ओपन द टू हेमिस्फीयर्स. I'll teach you all the internal structures also when I teach you this chapter that is about the human brain. But if you see here, I know it will be very difficult on screen to show you all the labels. आज का वो chapter भी नहीं है अपना. We are not talking about it also, but just see. If you can see, I have marked some names over here. मैंने कुछ नाम लिखे हुए हैं. Black color के पेन में मैंने नाम लिखे हुए हैं, है ना? तो can you see it? Can you see it? If you can see, it's
Ma'am,
good.
actually, you are sitting in a dark room, so it's difficult
Why?
for us to read.
एक मिनट, मैं लाइट का देखती हूँ. ये ना मेरे आँख पे आता है लाइट, इसीलिए. Now you can see.
God, sorry, ma'am, it's too bright.
You can see this now very clearly.
No.
It's too bright.
I know, that's what मेरे आँखों पे आता है, इसलिए I don't keep it on actually. Anyways, so what happens is this particular brain, this can be seen without the light very nicely in fact.
Actually,
हाँ. So when I show these things, when I show these markings, here also you can see something like this brown color ka flower like thing and all. So here these are the areas. These are the areas which are going to be ultimately causing the effect for us to do that particular action. जैसे कि अभी I don't know आपको ये दिखाई देगा नहीं दिखाई देगा. यहाँ पर मैंने olfactory ऐसे लिखा हुआ है. यहाँ पर मैंने लिखा है olfactory. That means हमारे ब्रेन के ये पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन पे है ऑल्फैक्शन का सेंस एनालाइज करने की कैपेसिटी. अब यहाँ तक दिस इज अ लो प्रेजेंट वेयर, दिस इज अ लो प्रेजेंट इन आवर ब्रेन. ये अपना ब्रेन है ना. तो ये साइड में, ये इधर, ये साइड में साइडवेज इधर हमें स्मेल एनालाइज करने के लिए समथिंग शुड बी लाइक देयर इन बिटवीन टू ब्रिंग दैट impulse. So that is called as impulse generation. And once that impulse is generated, अभी if you see over here, एक जगह पर मैंने optic भी लिखा हुआ है. हाँ, ये देखो visual, optic, ये visual है, visual. तो हमारे ब्रेन का ये जो एरिया है, it is associated with vision. It is associated with vision. अब आंखें किधर है? इधर है. हमारा विजुअल एरिया किधर है? पीछे की तरफ है. So there is something which will be carried as an impulse to reach this area. And from this area, जहाँ पर visual दिखाई दे रहा है आपको very clearly, so from that area, ये visual area से there will be a signal that will be given back, which will be analyzed by us. So whatever is that we hear, whatever that we speak, whatever that we see, whatever that we think, whatever that we say, whatever that we write, everything कंट्रोल इधर है. इधर मतलब दोनों साइड पे. मैंने एक साइड पे ये लिखा है. ओके, तो ये जो है इसको हम कहते हैं रिले सेंटर. जिसको हम क्या कहते हैं? रिले सेंटर कहते हैं. ये देखिए, दिस इज द सेरेब्रम, दिस इज द सेरेबेलम, हियर इज गोइंग टू बी द मेड्यूला. एंड आगे मैं ऑफ कोर्स जब नर्वस सिस्टम पढ़ाऊंगी तो आई विल शो यू ऑल दिस वेरी क्लियरली. Anyways, I just wanted to show you that this one sensory epithelium की ये जो epithelium है, it is present in the retina of the eye. From there, the impulse will be carried via the sensory nerves to reach these areas. And when they reach these areas, there will be motor nerves that will carry the impulse back to that particular organ, and we will do the deeds accordingly. Okay, तो ये बहुत beautiful वाली कहानी है. आगे देखेंगे. आज ज्यादा टाइम नहीं मैं वेस्ट करूंगी इसके ऊपर. ब्रेन को ब्रेन के जगह पर रख देते हैं. ओके, सो you understood about the sensory epithelium now. Then we come about the glandular epithelium. Again, as the name says, it is present in the glands, want to secrete some sort of fluid. So function क्या है उसका? उसका function क्या है? Secretion. Absorptive epithelium. नाम से पता चल रहा है, the one which is helping in absorptions, where predominantly it's going to be present. See, nephron of the kidneys, ultrafiltration करता है nephron, so वहां पर होना बहुत जरूरी है. stomach, intestine. It helps in absorption of food in the stomach and intestine and liquid materials in the nephron. So जो kidney है हमारा, जो देखिए that day someone asked me about kidney का thing कि blood का जो volume है, मैंने कुछ आपको ऐसे ही बताया था, याद है आपको कि blood का जो volume होता है वो constant रहता है 5 liters के करीब and all. So how to maintain it like that way? How can 5 liters be maintained? तो उसके लिए जो पानी होता है उसको reabsorption में जाना पड़ता है. It has to be reabsorbed. So this reabsorption is going to be done by whom? This reabsorption is going to be done by this particular special epithelium that is going to help in absorption. So basically it's going to be the same one, Ray. It's going to be the columnar, cuboidal, ciliated, having microvilli, all those things which we have learned. The same thing is going to be there. The only difference is what? Only difference is what? Now this has been divided according to the function. So functionally how they are is something that they have mentioned. Got it? Understood? So that is going to be your absorptive. Yeah. What is your doubt, Bicha? Let me see. Acupressure, what is that, ma'am? Why is it sometimes painful? Acupressure is to aggravate certain important points that are helping in the neural coordination basically. So it's associated with that. It is painful because the methodology is a bit crude. They insert certain needles or something in the superficial part of your skin. You don't bleed, but of course it pains. What is all this would happen in a fraction of a second? Yes, but nanoseconds, not even fraction of a second. Second का भी 1000 part, 2000 part, इतने fast ये सब होता है. Imagine ना, अभी फिलहाल के लिए आप स्क्रीन पे कुछ देख रहे हो, राइट? अगर मैंने स्क्रीन चेंज कर दी तो विदिन अ फ्रैक्शन ऑफ अ सेकेंड आपको वो स्क्रीन बराबर से वापस क्लियरली दिखाई देती है. So how is it possible within so small time span? So that is the beauty that I'll be talking about in detail in neural coordination. Very nice question. Very good question, of course. Yeah. So here we talk about the glands of the epithelium. So we saw glandular epithelium. So we have got different glands. So a cell or a group of cells which secrete chemical substances are called as glands. All glands are composed of epithelium tissue. Glands originate from all the three germinal layers. The cells are generally columnar or cuboidal. Okay, that is about the glands of the epithelium. Now see, on the basis of the presence of the secretory duct glands are of three types. So we saw that glandular epithelium करके कुछ होता है और ये glandular epithelium से glands बनते हैं, ये glands बनते हैं और ये जो glands है ये basically तीन type के glands divide किए गए हैं for us to understand. What are the three? See, endocrine gland, exocrine gland, heterocrine gland. Many of you all are already aware of these names. Endocrine, ductless glands. तो इनमें ducts नहीं होते हैं. They don't have the ducts to carry their secretions. They are ductless glands. Second are exocrine. Exo means outside. जो अपने secretions को बाहर की तरफ लेके जाते हैं via ducts. So there will be ducts present, there will be tubings present, there will be tubes present. So via the tubes, the secretions can be carried to different places. Okay. So the second group is what? Ducts are present. The third is mixed type. That means both endocrine and exocrine parts are going to be partially present in these organs. So they are mixed type. Fine. On the basis of the secretions, three types of glands which are present are, अब क्या secrete कर रहे हैं, क्या secrete कर रहे हैं और कैसे secrete कर रहे हैं उस हिसाब से तीन है. So presence of ducts और absence of ducts के हिसाब से हमने तीन देखे. अब क्या secrete कर रहे हैं, what are they secreting, nature of secretion के basis पे again three types are there. Eccrine gland, they are also called as eccrine gland, they are also called as merocrine gland. Now why I am telling you this in detail, because regular for alternate years, 7 years alternate, मतलब 14 years alternate करके ऐसे 7 क्वेश्चंस आए थे इसके ऊपर एक एक करके एवरी ईयर. तो इसलिए मैंने ये पार्ट इंक्लूड करा है आपके सिलेबस में. Eccrine. In these glands, secretory cells secrete substances by simple diffusion, which is called as exocytosis. No part of cytoplasm is destroyed in the secretion. Means what? What do you mean by this? See, something is produced inside the gland. The quantity of that secretion is much more inside the gland as compared to the outside. And therefore, there is going to be a simple diffusion movement that will be taking place. That is, that particular secretion will move from higher concentration to the lower concentration, from higher to the lower by simple diffusion. तो इसमें क्या बाहर फेंका जाएगा? What will be thrown out from that gland? The secretion only. Whatever has been secreted, only that will be thrown out. So cytoplasm has got nothing to do with the movement. Cytoplasm is not going to get destroyed at all. Okay. So no part of the cytoplasm is destroyed in the secretion. Example, maximum sweat glands of humans. So sweat glands are duct wale glands. We have got sweat glands पे exocrine है वो. They have got ducts. और ये via the duct the sweat will be thrown outside, but it is going to be by simple diffusion. So sweat बना, sweat को throw किया. ठीक है? Then paws of the rabbit, goblet cells, salivary glands, tear glands, intestinal glands, mucus glands, all are the examples of this eccrine one. तो जो भी synthesize हो रहा है, whatever is being synthesized, because of more concentration, it will be thrown out. Fine, simple diffusion. इसमें कुछ भी loss, कुछ भी नहीं है cytoplasm का. Look at the second one. Apocrine. Apo का यहाँ पर मतलब होता है apical part. Apocrine का मतलब यहाँ पर है apical part. So in this type of glands, secretory products are collected in the apical part of the secretory cell. So suppose there are these cells in which these are the apical portions ऊपर, है ना? So whatever is being produced will be stored in that apical part. Fine. And now whenever that secretion has to be thrown out or that secretion has to be lost from that cell, it will be lost along with the apical portion. So see, the apical portion is also shed along with the secretory matter. इसका मतलब यहाँ पर सेल का एक पार्ट जो है ना वो कट हो जाता है. That is apocrine. Fine. It is not by simple diffusion. Secretory cells gain their lost part of the cytoplasm by the process of regeneration. So whatever has been shed off, it can regrow. So there is no problem at all. They can regrow that. Okay. ऐसे कौन से cells होते हैं जो apical portion के साथ shed off होते हैं? देखिए, especially the mammary glands, the sweat glands of the armpits. बहुत ज़्यादा पसीना आता है वहाँ पर armpits में. The pubic region, the skin around the anus, the lips, the nipple area. देखिए lips का तो हम experience भी करते हैं. बहुत बार ऐसे वो छिलके निकलते हैं ना lips के, देखा है आपने? Especially during the winters or even during high summers. बहुत तेज धूप होती है ना high summers या फिर winters, ये पूरे lips के छिलके निकलते हैं. देखा है आपने? experience करा है इसको? Yes.
It's very painful.
Yeah, I know, but वो होता है, and you know, like people have got that habit that थोड़ा निकल आया ना, so they immediately start plucking it out. That skin को pluck करने की आदत होती है, which is not good of course. So in that case, you know why? Because that entire, for making it lubricated, for lubricating the lips again, moisture चला गया. तो lubrication के लिए ये जो ग्लैंड्स ने जो भी सिक्रीट किया है नेचुरल मेथड से, जो उन्होंने सिक्रीट किया है टू कीप इट मॉइस्ट, ओके, वो उसके अपाइकल सेल के साथ दिया जाता है ऊपर. सो दैट इज व्हाट इज द एपोक्राइन ग्लैंड. होलोक्राइन ग्लैंड, द प्रोडक्शन और द सिक्रीशन इज शेयर्ड विद द होल सेल. मतलब सिर्फ अपाइकल पोर्शन नहीं, द एंटायर सेल विल बी thrown out from the position, leading to its destruction. Example is the sebaceous glands. You know what are the sebaceous glands, right? Same I've explained with the help of diagrams. Now you can see. This is simple tubular. This is simple coil tubular. This is simple alveolar. This is the compound tubular, compound alveolar, compound tubular. I mean, these are the ones which are duct wale glands. So ये देखिए, इनको ducts है to carry their secretions. So these are the normal ones. तो ये सिंपल ट्यूब्यूलर है, ये ट्यूब्स में से द सिक्रीशन विल बी डिफ्यूजिंग आउट. ये कॉइल्ड शेप में होता है, बट इसको भी इधर से दिया जाता है। ये एक सिंगल लार्ज एल्वियोलर है। यू नो व्हाट इज एल्वियोलर, वी हैव डन अबाउट द एल्वियोलर सिंपल टिश्यूज, है ना। सो इट इज गोइंग टू बी वन सिंगल लार्ज सेल एल्वियोलर सिंपल वन, उसका भी सिक्रीशंस कैरी होता है। दिस इज कंपाउंड ट्यूबुलर, मींस कंपाउंड मींस 2 आर्म्स और आर्म ऐसे होता जाता है। दिस इज कंपाउंड एल्वियोलर। ये देखिए, ये एक था, ऐसे उसके बहुत सारे सब यूनिट्स, एंड दिस इज कंपाउंड ट्यूबुलर एल्वियोलर। सो एक ट्यूब है, एक एल्वियोलर है, ट्यूब है, एक एल्वियोलर, ये अलग अलग टाइप से। लुक एट द नेक्स्ट वन, दिस इज योर मेरोक्राइन, where only the synthesized part is going to be getting diffused, the entire cell remains intact. Here if you see in apocrine gland, the apex has got discharged, it can regrow the apex of course. And if you see the holocrine gland, ये देखिए, ये जो है धीरे धीरे क्या हो गया, ये पूरा सेल ही डिस्ट्रॉय हो गया और इसका जो सिक्रीशन है वो बाहर आ गया है। सो इन दिस द एंटायर सेल इज गोइंग टू बी लॉस्ट, destructed. Okay, so these are 3 important points: merocrine, apocrine and holocrine. If any question is asked in the exam, I don't want my students to lose a single mark, because ये आया है, आता है और आता रहेगा as out of syllabus वाला portion. So I want all of you all to remember these names, especially merocrine, apocrine, holocrine.
Ma'am,
हाँ,
when we talk about holocrine glands, I mean the holocrine, the whole cell is they convert into like the deposition, or they convert into the waste material.
no, cell has got destroyed, beta.
So
What?
how is it compensated?
If you see, it will be formed, it will be regenerated, it will be regenerated. If you see here also, this is an intact cell. Okay, the second stage is the secretion has started to be formed. The third stage is the lower portion of the cell is almost destroyed, and the fourth, the last stage में क्या हो जाता है, the entire cell is going to get destroyed, only the secretion will remain, which will diffuse out, which will get mixed. Okay, so this is how the 3 glands are going to be specifically present in our body. So that's all with the epithelial tissue. We have completed the epithelial tissue. Now 3 we have to do in detail, that is connective tissue, the muscular tissue and the neural tissue. 3 things हमें करने हैं आगे, but यहाँ तक अपना epithelial tissue complete हो जाता है। तो किसी को कोई doubt है बेटा epithelial tissue में? Anyone having any difficulty? Why this window has come over here? No doubts? Can we move ahead with the connective tissue part? Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
when we talk about the connective tissue, as the name says, connective is something that is going to connect something with something. But at least we know, that the connective tissue, at least we know that the connective tissue is definitely going to connect the basement membrane on one side. Everywhere we have seen na, that basement membrane is going to be at the center, attaching the epithelial tissue with the connective tissue. So connective tissue एक जगह से हमेशा attached रहेगा, connect करेगा, किसको connect करेगा वो? Basement membrane को तो connect करेगा ही, है ना? But not only that, वो और भी बहुत सारी चीजों को connect करता है, और वो क्या क्या है? These are the things that we'll be talking in detail. So first, all connective tissues in the body are developed from the mesoderm. I hope you all remember about the mesoderms.
Yes, ma'am.
So ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm is was something that we were talking about. So yes, so the connective tissue is developed from the mesoderm. Can anyone tell me the epithelial tissue is derived from where? Who will tell me the epithelial tissue is derived from where?
Ectoderm.
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 Who else? Who else will give this answer?
Can you repeat the question?
My question is, as we saw just now, that the mesoderm is originating from, the connective tissue is originating from the mesoderm. My question is, the epithelial tissue is derived from whom?
All three, like
Yes,
all
ma'am.
three.
Good, very good.
Yeah, but the like simple squamous and the different types are derived from different terms.
No,
But
no. In the starting
epithelial,
only I had said this, that it is the only tissue of our body which is derived from all the three germinal layers. मैंने starting में ही बताया था, right? It is all the three germinal layers. Very
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Please remember this. Epithelial tissue is the only tissue which is derived from all the three germinal layers, while connective tissue is specifically derived from the mesoderm. Okay? Good. Hartwig called the mesenchyme because they originated from the embryonic mesoderm. That's okay. It's associated with mesoderm only. Only connective tissue that constitutes 30% of the total body weight. अपने जितना बॉडी वेट है उसमें से 30% वेट तो सिर्फ ये कनेक्टिव टिश्यू का ही है ना. Muscle will make up 50%, epithelium will make up 50% and nervous will make up 10%. ये total in general उन्होंने बताया है. So rest 70 उन्होंने divide किया है. So 30% is connective, 50% is muscular, 10% is epithelium and 10% is nervous tissue. So out of the 100%,
Ma'am, what about bones?
huh?
What about bones?
It will come in connective only, no, my dear. It's a part of connective only, no?
Okay, ma'am.
Part of connective. On the basis of the matrix, connective tissue is going to be of the following three types. Connective tissue proper, having soft matrix and fibrous matrix. Connective tissue skeleton, which will have dense matrix and mineralized matrix. Due to the deposition of minerals, it becomes hard. And connective tissue vascular, that is going to have liquid matrix, free matrix, fibers will be freely present in that. It will be actually a liquid. Now, what do you mean by the word matrix? First, let us understand that. Okay, fine. आपने सबने लाइफ में कभी ना कभी गुलाब जामुन खाए हैं, मुझे पता है सबने खाया है. आपने कभी ना कभी लाइफ में बूंदी का लड्डू खाया है. अब बूंदी के लड्डू दो टाइप के आते हैं. एक आता है वो सॉफ्ट वाला और एक आता है वो कड़क वाला. वो कड़क वाला
सॉफ्ट वाला इसको मोतीचूर का लड्डू.
हाँ, मोतीचूर वाला इज दैट सॉफ्ट वन ना. और जो बूंदी का कड़क वाला आता है, खाया है कभी?
That's yellow, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Who can resist?
आई लव दैट. मुझे बहुत पसंद है वो कड़क वाला.
Who can resist?
फॉर मी यू नो, मुझे जितना मीठा पसंद है उतना मुझे तीखा भी पसंद है. मतलब इफ यू आस्क मी, तो पानी पूरी अगर मैं खाऊंगी तो मैं ओनली तीखा पानी का ही पानी पूरी खाती हूँ. मैं उसमें वो डाइल्यूटेड मीठा पानी डाल के मुझे खाना पसंद नहीं.
True, ma'am, I agree.
But if you ask me sweets, I love sweets also equally. I like sweets as sweets and I like तीखा as तीखा. वो middle वाला taste मुझे पसंद नहीं है. तीखा मीठा मिक्स वाला मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता. But anyway, तो जो मीठा होता है ना, मीठा जो होता है ना, अब गुलाब जामुन फॉर एग्जाम्पल, गुलाब जामुन मस्त स्विमिंग करते रहते हैं वो छाछनी में. देखा है आपने? एक
Yes.
बड़े वाले बर्तन में टू कीप द गुलाब जामुन, तो जिस वो छाछनी में पड़े रहते हैं मस्त स्विमिंग करते हैं, मस्त ऐसे तैरते रहते ऊपर की तरफ. मजा आता है देखने में, लेकिन खाने में ज्यादा मजा आता है. राइट? अब देखो बच्चा, ये जो गुलाब जामुन है, ये जो गुलाब जामुन है, वो तैर रहे, दे आर फ्लोटिंग, दे आर फ्लोटिंग. वाई आर दे फ्लोटिंग? बिकॉज उनका जो लिक्विड है, उनका जो छाछनी है, वो हमने गाढ़ा नहीं बनाया है, हमने उसको पतला बनाया है. इसीलिए वो कैसा है? वो लिक्विड है. तो द मैट्रिक्स ऑफ द गुलाब जामुन इज लिक्विड, जिसमें फाइबर्स फ्रीली मूव होते हैं, वैसे गुलाब जामुन फ्रीली मूव होते हैं. So look at the third point. Connective tissue vascular, liquid and fibers free matrix. Fibers नहीं है उसमें, वो liquid है, liquid है वो. ठीक है, बिल्कुल liquid है. तो ये liquid could be anything, you know, like कोई भी छाछनी ले लो, वो liquid वाली, बस हो गई काम. ऊपर देखिए, उसके ऊपर देखिए, connective tissue skeleton, कड़क बूंदी का लड्डू. छाछनी वही है. It's the same sugar syrup. It's the same sugar syrup, but now we have made it so thick that वो गाढ़ा बन गया. गाढ़ा बन के एक एक बूंदी को वो चिपकाया है, और जब हम उसको तोड़ने जाते हैं तो एक वो कड़क वाली फीलिंग आ जाती है। कुछ अलग है क्या? गुलाब जामुन की छाछनी और ये कड़क बूंदी की जो छाछनी है, छाछनी तो छाछनी है, इट इज मेड अप ऑफ व्हाट? इट इज मेड अप ऑफ शुगर एंड वाटर ओनली, but it depends on the concentration, how much is it concentrated that it will hold the two things together. समझा? तो ये जो कड़क बूंदी के जो लड्डू है, ये एक एक बूंदी जो है उसको आप एक एक सेल कंसिडर कीजिएगा, कंसिडर इट टू बी वन वन सेल। और ये जो छाछनी है जिसने ये बूंदी को कड़क एक साथ बांध के रखा है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द मैट्रिक्स, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द मैट्रिक्स। समझा? उसके ऊपर आइए, उसके ऊपर आइए, कनेक्टिव टिश्यू प्रॉपर। कनेक्टिव टिश्यू प्रॉपर दैट इज गोइंग टू बी योर वो लड्डू जो सॉफ्ट है, जो प्लायबल है। हाँ, आप तुरंत एक बाइट में काट के उसके मजे ले सकते हो, है ना? वो जो लड्डू है दैट इज द कनेक्टिव टिश्यू प्रॉपर। मतलब all are having sugar syrup in them, all three are having sugar syrup in them, right? But one sugar syrup is not that thick to make it very very hard. The other sugar syrup is so thick that it has made it very very hard, and the third is not at all thick, it is so liquid that it's free flowing. Did you understand? So what is matrix, beta? Matrix is something that will keep the two cells together, bind them together, connect them together. तो जो दो चीजों को कनेक्ट करता है उसको हम कहेंगे कनेक्टिव टिश्यू। अब कैसे तरीके से कनेक्ट करता है, उसमें क्या क्या होता है जो कनेक्ट करना पड़ता है, इज समथिंग दैट वी हैव टू सी। सो दिस कनेक्टिव टिश्यू हैज गॉट टू फेजेस। वन विल बी द मैट्रिक फेज। ये जो मैट्रिक्स होता है, जो अभी अभी मैंने बोला अलग अलग टाइप के मैट्रिक्स होते हैं, अकॉर्डिंगली अलग अलग टाइप के उसके नाम है ना? तो एक है जो मैट्रिक्स है, जो लिक्विड है, जो गाढ़ा बनाए तो थिक बन जाएगा, कड़क बन जाएगा, थोड़ा बहुत उसको पकाएंगे तो सॉफ्ट रहेगा लेकिन उसके अंदर कुछ ना कुछ मिलेगा। और तीसरा जो है विच इज गोइंग टू बी फ्री फ्लोइंग, विच इज गोइंग टू बी फ्री फ्लोइंग। तो मैट्रिक्स तीन अलग अलग टाइप के हैं। बट इस मैट्रिक्स में जैसे इधर गुलाब जामुन तैयार कर रहा था, इसमें दो बूंदियां बहुत फिक्स एक दूसरे के साथ चिपकी हुई बैठी थी, दूसरे जो थे उधर सॉफ्टनेस था लेकिन कुछ तो उसको बाइंड किया था, है ना? वैसे ही हमारे कनेक्टिव टिश्यू में व्हाट आर द कंपोनेंट्स व्हिच आर गोइंग टू बी प्रेजेंट इन द मैट्रिक्स। इस मैट्रिक्स में क्या क्या प्रेजेंट है, which are the cells which are present, is something that we have to understand. So the connective tissue has got two parts. One will be the matrix ka part, other will be the cellular component. Did you understand? And third, of course, the fibril component as well. Some would be fibers also present in it. Is it fine? So you understood what exactly is the connective tissue? समझ में आ गई ये बात? तो गुलाब जामुन का याद रखिए, बूंदी का लड्डू याद रखिए, और दूसरा वाला आप कोई भी ले लो जिसमें आप जो आपको अच्छा लगे, जो सॉफ्ट होता है, कोई भी लड्डू जो आपको अच्छा लगे। ओके, या नाउ सी दिस, इसका ही आगे का डिस्क्रिप्शन है, दैट इज कनेक्टिव टिश्यू प्रॉपर। सो वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट द वेरी फर्स्ट कंपोनेंट, दैट इज द कनेक्टिव टिश्यू प्रॉपर। नाउ the connective tissue proper is composed of three things: different types of cells, fibers and matrix. Matrix is common, but इसमें क्या है, different types of cells भी है और कुछ fibers भी है, और एक matrix का component तो common है। So let us understand what is this first part of it, that is what are the different type of cells present in them. Okay, so the first type of thing that we're going to talk about is going to be the connective tissue proper ka different types of cells, which is one part of your connective tissue proper. Okay, first fibroblast cell. You can see the diagram very clearly. Fibroblast cell kaise dikhta hai? Largest of the connective tissue proper, maximum in number, rich in rough endoplasmic reticulum, because main or the primary function is to produce fibers. Fibroblast जो fibers को बनाता है, जो fibers को fibers का birth जहां से होता है, that group of cells is called as fibroblast. The main function of this particular कनेक्टिव टिश्यू प्रॉपर, उसका मेन फंक्शन ही है फाइबर्स बनाना. तो जो सेल्स फाइबर्स बनाते हैं वो प्रीडोमिनेंटली ज्यादा प्रेजेंट होने चाहिए इसमें, right? So these are going to be predominantly present. These are the fibroblast cells. They make new fibers every time. Now, fibers are composed of protein. We know endoplasmic reticulum, which is rough. So RER, as we know, RER is associated with protein synthesis, right? So more is the RER, more will be the protein. More will be the protein, more will be the proteinaceous fibers. Okay? Chief matrix producing cells. तो ये ना सिर्फ फाइबर्स बनाते हैं, ये मैट्रिक्स भी बनाते हैं. They are also going to make the matrix of it, of this entire tissue. Function to produce the fibers and to secrete matrix. So the first cell of our connective tissue proper is going to be the fibroblast cell. You can see in the diagram very nicely. You can see this. This is going to be a typical fibroblast cell. Here you can see rough endoplasmic reticulum. This is the cytoplasm. They have got a lot of mitochondria. Nucleus is present. They start synthesizing these granules which are proteinaceous. They have got the Golgi bodies. They have got the RER. And these are the collagen fibers that are synthesized eventually. इस तरीके से fibers उनके processes में से बाहर निकल आते हैं. Okay. Understood what is a fibroblast cell? Second, plasma cells. They are also called as the cartwheel cells. Cartwheel because cart के wheel के जैसे दिखते हैं, इसलिए उसको cartwheel भी कहा जाता है. They are less in number. Their shape is amoeba-like. Specific shape नहीं होता है. What is the main function? They produce, secrete and transport antibodies, defense, fighters. Antibodies क्या है? Soldiers है, fighters है. तो ये एंटीबॉडीज को प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, उनको सिक्रीट भी करते हैं और इनको ट्रांसपोर्ट भी करते हैं. ये जो स्पेशल सेल्स हैं उसको हम कहते हैं प्लाज्मा सेल्स. अगर हमें कुछ इन्फेक्शन हो जाता है, then only the number of plasma cells will go on increasing. Otherwise, normally they are less in number.
Ma'am,
The plasma cell, 1 minute. This is the plasma cell. You can see the nucleus. It is see थ्री लोब्ड न्यूक्लियस यहाँ पर आपको क्लियरली दिखाई दे रहा है. ये एक लोब है, ये दूसरा लोब है और ये तीसरा लोब है. थ्री लोब्ड न्यूक्लियस कैन बी सीन. They have got the mitochondria, they have got the Golgi. These are the antibodies that they are producing, and they will produce and they will even transport these antibodies to places where they are required. So first was the fibroblast cell, second is the plasma. What happened? Someone is asking something.
Yes, ma'am. I had to ask that. Can you go to the previous slide once? Here, ma'am, it is said that rich is rough because it, of course, main of primary function produces fibers. Why is producing fiber need rough RER like?
That is a function. You might have studied this in 9th standard. 9th standard, you had a chapter called as cell organelles. In that, they have already taught you about RER and SCR. The main function of RER is protein synthesis. The main function of SCR is lipid production. So this is to done in your 9th standard. Of course, even we will be doing it in the cell organelle wala chapter. हमें भी देखना है. Yeah, so this is the plasma cell. Then the third one is the mast cell. Now please understand what is a mast cell. They are numerous, amoeboid, small in size. Look at the mast cell. किसी का तो mic on है बेटा. Just check किसका mic on है. Creating disturbance. Now look at this. Even these are amoeboid in shape, and even your plasma cells were amoeboid in shape. But look at the shape of the nucleus. Here the nucleus is going to be S shape, and there it was having 2 to 3 lobes, and it was not S shape. Here also 2 to 3 lobes, but it is going to be S shape. Now, structurally and functionally similar to the basophils, 2 to 3 lobed S-shaped nucleus. That is what I'm saying. It is S-shaped nucleus. The cytoplasm contains basophilic granules which can be stained using a basic dye like methylene blue. It is an important cell of the connective tissue proper as they perform important functions. And what are the important functions? You can see over here very clearly. You can see over here very clearly. See, this is the antibody. This is the antigen. So antigen and antibody का यहाँ पर इधर के इधर फाइटिंग स्टार्ट हो जाती है. एंटीबॉडी एंड एंटीजन का फाइटिंग इधर के इधर उस सेल के ऊपर ही स्टार्ट हो गया एंड स्टार्ट होते ही उसका डीजेनरेशन हो जाएगा, डीग्रैनुलेशन. सो एंटीजन विल गेट डिस्ट्रॉयड. That antigen could be a virus, it could be a bacteria, it could be anything that is foreign to our body. Will come and directly get associated with the antibody present on these mast cells. Now, how is this possible? How does it directly come over here? How does it directly get incorporated and how does it directly get degenerated? Is something that we have to see. So the mast cell is going to perform some important functions. That is, it is going to help in secretions of three important chemicals. तो ये जो मास्ट सेल्स है ये 3 important chemicals synthesize करते हैं. So which are the 3 important chemicals is what we have to understand. Just see now, the 3 important chemicals are histamine, serotonin and heparin. So ये तीनों के तीनों synthesis करने वाला कौन बंदा है बच्चा? Mast cell. See, histamine, it's a protein, it's a vasodilator. Vasodilator means the one who will dilate the capillaries, the arteries or the veins. So vasoconstrictor and vasodilator. जो dilate करता है, dilate करना मतलब increase करना. जो हमारे capillaries का, vascular bundles का, vascular tissues का जो हमारे body में है, उनको जो dilate करता है, फुलाता है, extend कराता है, ये है histamine. So what will histamine do? It's a vasodilator. जैसे ये इसको बढ़ाएगा वैसे ही क्या होगा? फ्लो बढ़ेगा, ब्लड फ्लो ज्यादा हो जाएगा. So it will increase the permeability of the blood capillaries. So there will be maximum flow of blood entering inside. They also take part in allergy and inflammatory reactions. They also take part in allergy and inflammatory reactions. देखिए अगर आपको मच्छर काटता है तो when you scratch over there तो एक inflammatory response create होता है. यहाँ पर रेड कलर का एक ऐसा पैच आ जाता है या नहीं? देखा है? You try to scratch that more and more, right? You try to scratch that more and more और वो बढ़ता जाता है, right? Now why that area should be supplemented with maximum amount of blood? ऐसा क्यों है? Why it has to be supplemented with maximum amount of blood? It is not for the blood to reach there, but it is for these mast cells to reach there. Okay, so as and when more mast cells are going to come over here, more and more histamine secretion will take place. That will cause an inflammatory response. That is histamine. Second is serotonin. It is a blood vasoconstrictor. It decreases blood secretion, circulation, but increases blood pressure. देखिए अब ये बहुत important है, ये बहुत important है. Blood pressure increase कैसे कराना है? अगर imagine कीजिए एक आपके हाथ में water का pipe है ना? Hose pipe जिसको हम कहते हैं. And I'll tell you that you have to water this garden. ये जितने भी plants आपको यहाँ पर दिख रहे हैं उनको सबको आपको वाटरिंग करना है. ठीक है? अब आपके हाथ में जो पाइप है उसमें से बिल्कुल धीरे से वाटर फ्लो आ रहा है, उसका कुछ फोर्स ही नहीं है, वाटर का कुछ फोर्स ही नहीं है और आपको इतना पूरा गार्डन को पानी डालना है. यू विल टेक सो मच ऑफ टाइम. कितना बोरिंग हो जाएगा इतने पतले वाले पानी के फ्लो से इतना बड़ा गार्डन को पानी डालना. तो आप क्या करोगे? व्हाट यू विल डू? इंस्टेंटली व्हाट यू विल डू, वो नल का जो टैप का जो मेन कंट्रोल है कितना बढ़ाना है कितना नहीं बढ़ाना है वो लॉक्ड है. So you cannot change the tap का position. So what is the thing that you will do by which the water will flow out forcefully? Come on, tell me. क्या करोगे बेटा?
We will put our finger in front of the pipe.
Very correct.
Cover it partially so that the water comes out.
Exactly. Very right. Very correct बच्चा. Yes, Zemanchu. Generally we put our thumb ना, हम ऐसे thumb डाल देते हैं ना तो क्या हो जाएगा, वो पानी का फोर्स बढ़ जाएगा। या फिर दूसरा आप क्या करोगे, अगर आपने वो पाइप को थोड़ा सा कंप्रेस किया ना, ऐसा दोनों तरफ से ऐसा पिचका दिया ना थोड़ा बहुत, तो भी फोर्स बढ़ेगा। सो व्हेन यू पार्शियली ब्लॉक इट या फिर यू पार्शियली स्क्वीज इट, तो फोर्स से पानी बाहर आ जाता है ना। सेम वे बेटा, इन द सेम वे जब हम ब्लड कैपिलरीज को कंप्रेस कर देते हैं, मतलब कंस्ट्रिक्ट कर देते हैं या ब्लॉक कर देते हैं पार्शियली, तो क्या हो जाएगा, प्रेशर जो जो प्रेशर इनिशियली था उस ब्लड वेसल में, अब बिकॉज ऑफ कंप्रेशन या बिकॉज ऑफ occludence, the pressure of the blood has increased drastically. So what is the function of this serotonin? The function of this serotonin is to increase the blood pressure. Pressure of the blood को increase कराना होता है, तब ये serotonin काम में आता है. At the site of cut or injury, serotonin decreases blood loss. Okay, so these are the two important functions associated with serotonin, which is produced by whom? Which is produced by the mast cells. So एक function है histamine secrete करना for inflammatory reactions, दूसरा है serotonin produce करना for increasing the flow of the blood pressure. Sometimes you know some people are having difficulty with low BP. They have got low BP. पता है आपको? High BP चलेगा लेकिन low BP नहीं चलता है. लो बीपी के जो पेशेंट्स है ना, वो कहीं पर भी चक्कर आके गिर जाएंगे ना, समझ में भी नहीं आएगा कब चक्कर आके गिर गए करके. लो बीपी इज डिफिकल्ट टू ट्रीट. हाई बीपी, ऑफ कोर्स हाई बीपी इज नॉट गुड फॉर हेल्थ. आई डू अग्री विद दैट. इट इज आल्सो हैविंग many things associated with high blood pressure naturally, but लो ब्लड प्रेशर का जो प्रॉब्लम है ना, वो ट्रीट करना मुश्किल होता है. तो ऑफ कोर्स सेरोटोनिन जो नेचुरल प्रोड्यूस होता है अपने बॉडी में, which will be capable of taking care of this. Okay, and the
Ma'am, actually I had a question that if serotonin increases the blood pressure, then how is it decrease blood loss? Because
blood loss
more
will decrease
pressure,
na, more will be the force of the blood coming over there, more would be the platelets being coming to that area, more are the platelets coming over there, more would be the cementing, more will be the cementing, less will be the loss.
oh, like that. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, because blood is going to be rich with platelets that time, and the platelets have to be transported very quickly to that area. So when that forceful entry of the blood will be coming over there, that time there will be forceful entry of the platelets also, and these platelets फटाफट enmesh कर लेते हैं और clot बनाते हैं. तो circulation chapter जब पढ़ाऊंगी ना, तब मैं आपको ये भी पढ़ाऊंगी कि blood clotting कैसे होता है. तब ये बहुत मस्त, मतलब वो एक chronological order में हमें पढ़ना है उसको. So we'll be doing it that time. Fine? Yeah. So that is about the serotonin. And the third one is the heparin. Third one is the heparin. Heparin is a mucopolysaccharide. It is anticoagulant. It prevents the clotting of the blood in the blood vessels by preventing the conversion of prothrombin into thrombin. Now understand this. हमारे बॉडी में ब्लड क्लॉट्स नहीं होने चाहिए. अगर ब्लड की गुठलियां बन जाती है ना, ब्लड के क्लॉट्स बन जाते हैं ना, तो फ्री फ्लोइंग ब्लड जो है ना, वो अटका पड़ जाता है, अटक जाता है, एंड देयर वुड बी अ लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स. सी देखिए, यू माइट हैव हर्ड अबाउट दिस कि जनरली elderly people will develop a blood clot in their brain. Have you all heard about it?
Yes, miss.
Yeah. So you know, like blood flow is not going to be efficiently carried out in that region. Then people start forgetting. They forget. They even forget that whether they have had their food or not. They forget their own name. They forget their children also sometimes. So this blood clots कहीं पर भी पूरे बॉडी में हमारे blood clots नहीं होने चाहिए. तो blood thinners दिए जाते हैं. As doctors, we generally recommend them to have blood thinners. What are these blood thinners? These are the heparin के medicines which are artificially given. So you know, like the blood will not make clots. They will remain in the liquid form. That is what is going to be the main function of heparin. Now histamine, serotonin, heparin, ये तीनों के तीनों जो synthesize करने वाला है, वो बंदा एक ही है. उसका नाम है mast cell. उसका नाम क्या है? Mast cell. Okay. Understood? So that is one more cell of our connective tissue proper. So first was fibroblast, second was plasma cell, third was mast cell. mast cell 3 केमिकल्स का सिंथेसिस हमने देख लिया, ठीक है। अब आगे देखिए और क्या होता है। एडिपोज सेल्स होते हैं उसमें, which are called as fat cells. So these cells are oval shaped soft fat cells. Fat is collected in the form of fat globule formed by the fusion of small oil droplets. तो हमारे सब में all of us have got these adipose cells या फिर fat cells present in us. This is one single fat cell and you can see ये जो है ये बड़ा सा एक फैट का ड्रॉपलेट उधर एक्यूमुलेट हुआ है। तो ये जो ग्लोब्यूल बना है फैट का, इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द एग्रीगेशन ऑफ स्मॉल ऑयल ड्रॉपलेट्स। On the basis of the number of fat globules, adipocytes are of two types, monolocular and multilocular. नाम से पता चल जाएगा। Monolocular means having only single large fat cell. So see, in these cells, single large and central flat globule is present. ये देखिए इतना बड़ा single large है। Nucleus and cytoplasm is at the periphery. ये देखिए, this is the nucleus which is at the periphery and this is the cytoplasm which is pushed towards the periphery. सेंटर में एक बहुत बड़ा ऐसा एक ऑयल ग्लोब्यूल बना पड़ा है। Cytoplasm is less in number. Due to the compression of the flat globule, the nucleus becomes flattened in shape. देखिए ना, ये जो न्यूक्लियस है ये कैसे बन गई है? चपटी बन गई है, बहुत ही compressed हो गई है, right? So it has become flattened in shape. It has become flattened in shape. These adipocytes form the white fat. They are going to be responsible for making the white fat. अब एक होता है white fat, एक होता है brown fat. What is that brown one? Let us see. Multilocular adipocytes, they are also called as the brown fats or brown fat cells as we call them. In these cells, 2 to 3 fat globules are distributed in the cytoplasm around the nucleus. You can see this. ये देखिए, ये जो है ना, ये देखिए ये जो सेल्स है छोटे छोटे, एक ये दो ब्राउन कलर के नहीं है, ब्राउन कलर के नहीं, ब्राउन कलर का जो है ना वो माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया है, सॉसेज शेप है, दैट इज माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया। ये जो है सर्कुलर होते हैं, ये देखो ये देखो, ये 1, ये 2, ये 3, ये 4, ये 5, 6, 7, ये जो पिंकिश कलर के है, जो यही कलर के है, एक्चुअली यही कलर के है ये भी। ओके, these are going to be your brown fat tissue. Now why it is called as brown? Not because this is brown, huh? Understand this. In these cells, 2 to 3 globules are distributed in the cytoplasm around the nucleus. Cytoplasm is more in amount. Nucleus is round. You can see this green color ka nucleus which is round. Here you can see the green color ka nucleus which is flat. Nucleus is round and generally found in the center. These adipocytes form the brown fat. Now why are they called as brown fat? Do you know? Because the mitochondria will generate a lot of heat and make the cells to appear brown. तो इसके वजह से है ना, इसके वजह से है ना वो ब्राउन कलर आ जाता है। हीट, ट्रेमेंडस हीट कॉज करता है और इसीलिए वो हमारा ब्राउन सेल कहलाता है या ब्राउन फैट कहलाता है। Having brown is better or having this, because this is for ATP generation and this is for heat generation to maintain our body temperature. Okay, तो जब हम कहते हैं ना फैट्स बर्न हो रहे, फैट्स बर्न हो रहे करके हम लोग की एक नॉर्मली वी यूज दिस वर्ड ना, फैट्स will burn if you exercise and you have to burn your fats to decrease your weight and all. What is that burning of fat? It is going to be oxidation of fats that has to be taken place, especially of this brown one. तो देखिए जब ये बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है ना तो स्वेटिंग चालू होता है। देखिए आपने एक्सरसाइज करी, आप 7th फ्लोर की बिल्डिंग है आपकी, आप 7th फ्लोर चढ़ के गए, तो आप अगर हाथ लगाओगे ना अपने आप को तो आपका टेम्परेचर थोड़ा बढ़ा हुआ दिखेगा आपको, एक हीट फील होती है अंदर से एंड यू स्टार्ट स्वेटिंग। व्हाई डू यू स्वेट? व्हाई डू यू स्वेट? व्हाई डू यू स्वेट? कैन एनीवन टेल मी व्हाई डू वी स्वेट? अरे कुछ भी रैंडम आंसर दे दो ना, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? व्हाई डू वी स्वेट? पसीना आना
so that the temperature is in balance.
Very good. It is actually an adaptation. इट्स अ टाइप ऑफ अडेप्टेशन फॉर कूलिंग आवर बॉडी। अंदर इतनी हीट हो गई है बिकॉज ऑफ एक्सरसाइज वॉट एवर वी हैव डन, ये ब्राउन फैट सेल्स जो है वो बर्न होने लगे हैं एक्चुअली, ट्रेमेंडस हीट हमारे बॉडी में क्रिएट होती है। अब ये हीट जो इतनी हमारे बॉडी में बनी हुई है, इट इज एलिवेटिंग आवर टेम्परेचर एंड एलिवेशन ऑफ टेम्परेचर इज नॉट गुड। तो तुरंत उसको कूलिंग इफेक्ट देने के लिए स्वेटिंग स्टार्ट हो जाता है। सो स्वेटिंग जो होता है, जो पसीना निकलता है अपना, इट इज अ गुड थिंग, इट्स अ गुड थिंग। अगर पसीना नहीं आएगा तो हमें बुखार आता रहेगा। आपने देखा होगा जब आपको फीवर आता है तो जनरली आप अगर कुछ पिल विल लेते हो तो उसके बाद तुरंत आपको बहुत पसीना आ जाता है। तो पसीना आना, स्वेटिंग होना इज एन एडेप्टेशन फॉर कूलिंग आवर बॉडी। ओके, सो दैट इज द मेन रीजन कि ये फैट बर्निंग के टाइम पे है ना।
मैम,
हाँ हाँ,
when I was a kid, of course, that time when I used to get fever, my mom used to always ask me, "Are you feeling cold? Are you
you type Komal, you type your question. I think no one can hear her, or it's only me who can't hear her very clearly. I'm so sorry, but I can't hear you very clearly, Biksa. Having brown cell, temperature regulation also helps to remove excess water. Yes, yes, very good. Yes, Vedika. That's a part of our excretion chapter. That excess of salts and unwanted salts, in fact, it has to be eradicated from our body. Very true. Very true. Okay. Yeah. So that's about the one more type of cells that we saw, fat cells. Then comes the macrophages. Okay. Macrophages is the second largest in the size and in number also. Amoeboid in shape with bean or kidney shaped structure. मैंने आगे उसका डायग्राम डाला है. Phagocytic in nature. खा लेता है दुश्मन को. Okay. Phagocytic in nature. It destroys bacteria and viruses by phagocytosis. They arise by fusion of monocytes. So many monocytes will come together. They'll form a large macrophage. They'll go on eating the दुश्मन. कैसे होता है दिखाती हूँ आगे. Also, they are called as the scavenger cells of the connective tissue because they are responsible for the removal of the dead and the damaged cells also. Macrophages के अलग-अलग नाम हैं अलग-अलग जगह पर. Okay, lungs में macrophages को हम कहते हैं dust cells. Liver में हम macrophages को कहते हैं Kupffer cells. Blood में हम macrophages को कहते हैं monocytes. ब्रेन में वही मैक्रोफाजेस को हम कहते हैं माइक्रोग्लियल सेल्स. थाइमस ग्लैंड में उसी मैक्रोफाज को हम कहते हैं हेसिस ग्रेन्यूल्स एंड स्प्लीन में उसी मैक्रोफाज को हम कहते हैं रेटिकुलर सेल्स. सो अलग अलग नाम से मैक्रोफाजेस जाने जाते हैं, बट बेसिकली मैक्रोफाजेस आर द वंस हु आर कॉल्ड एज द स्कैवेंजर्स. ओके, दे phagocytose all the debris. Fine. Yeah, the cat family have no struggle and that's why they continuously, yeah. That is the reason they keep on licking themselves. You're right. You're right. Look at this macrophage. देखिए कितना खतरनाक वाली चीज कुछ तो लगती है ना दिखने के लिए, यक दिखता है ना एकदम, बट यही अपना मेन डिफेंडर है कचरे को बाहर निकालने के लिए. So look over here. This is the first one. Macrophage moving towards the bacteria. यहाँ पर बैक्टीरिया है. It can see the bacteria. Sense the bacteria. See नहीं बोलेंगे हम. Sense the bacteria. बैक्टीरिया को देखा, उसने अपने आर्म्स उसके पीछे डाल दिए. Yes, I'm going to catch hold of this. Okay. So macrophage moving towards the bacteria. Now it has engulfed the bacteria. उसको मस्त अंदर ले लिया है, engulf कर लिया है. Bacteria will now get contained within a vesicle. अब देखो इनके आजू बाजू में एक वेसिकल ही बना दी कि अभी वो कहीं जा ही नहीं सकते बैक्टीरिया, अटके गए, अटक पड़े उस कंपार्टमेंट में. Okay, look at the fourth one. Lysosome from our cell will now fuse with this bacterial vesicle. So the vesicle containing the bacteria, उसके साथ ये lysosomes जो है ये merge हो जाएंगे, fuse हो जाएंगे. जैसे ये fuse हो जाता है, what is the fifth thing थी? Bacteria will get destroyed and digested. Bacteria की पूरी destruction complete हो गई है. Undigested remains of the bacteria might be present over here, which will be then thrown out eventually. Exocytosis हो जाएगा इसमें. ठीक है, तो एक जगह से आप देख सकते हो कि बैक्टीरिया को ले लिया है, दूसरी जगह से आप देख सकते हो ये लाइसोसोम को भी अंदर ले लिया, ये देखिए लाइसोसोम को अंदर ले लिया. They have got mitochondria, they have got nucleus, they have got the nucleolus, they have got the Golgi bodies, they have got ribosomes for protein synthesis, they have got endoplasmic reticulum. ये पूरा का पूरा ये macrophage में है, which is also one of the cells of our connective tissue proper. समझा आपको क्या कैसा दिखता है? I'll just complete with the cells. I'll not go ahead with the fibers. नहीं तो देखेंगे, चलो फटाफट 5-10 मिनट में हो जाएगा. The last type of cell that is going to be present in the connective tissue proper is the lymphocyte. Less in number, small in size, having amoeboid shape. So this is a lymphocyte. You can see over here. This is a lymphocyte. Fixed shape नहीं होता है उसका. A large nucleus is present in the cytoplasm as the peripheral layer. ये देखिए blue color का कितना बड़ा nucleus है. Cytoplasm is comparatively lesser. They produce, transport and secrete antibodies. So these are the antibodies which are produced on them, right? They divide to form the plasma cells of the connective tissue proper. So ये lymphocytes जब divide होते हैं तो plasma cells बनते हैं. हमने already plasma cells देखे हुए थे. ये antigen है, ये lymphocyte है. ये antigen lymphocyte के साथ interact करेगा और destroy हो जाएगा. Okay? So these are the few cells which are present in the matrix of the connective tissue proper. ठीक है, फाइबर्स ये एक ही स्लाइड है फाइबर्स की. जैसे सेल्स इतने 5, 6, 7 सेल्स हमने देखे, फाइबर्स 3 ही होते हैं, कोलाजन फाइबर्स, इलास्टिन फाइबर्स एंड रेटिकुलर फाइबर्स. कोलाजन फाइबर्स और व्हाइट फाइबर्स, दे आर ब्राइट व्हाइट, made up of collagen protein. They are unbranched and wavy. They are not elastic. Elastin fibers, on the other hand, are yellow in color. They are made up of elastin protein. They are single and they are branched. They have got maximum elasticity. Example, ligament that connects bone to bone. So ligament जो हमारे bodies में है, that is an example of elastic fibers. And third are the reticular fibers. They are made up of the protein reticulin. They are freely branched. They are also non-elastic. So 3 fibers होते हैं, 7 cells है, 3 fibers है जो इस मैट्रिक्स में मस्त स्विमिंग कर रहे हैं. किसके मैट्रिक्स में? कनेक्टिव टिश्यू प्रॉपर के मैट्रिक्स में. फाइन. अब ये जो मैट्रिक्स है, वो जो मैट्रिक्स है वो अकेला है, ओनली वन सेंटेंस. मैट्रिक्स इज कंपोज्ड ऑफ म्यूकोपॉलीसैकेराइड व्हिच इज प्रेजेंट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ hyaluronic acid. So this matrix is nothing but the hyaluronic acid. That's it. So with this, we have completed the 3 components of the connective tissue proper. आप उसके जो types है, connective tissue proper के जो types है, वो हम अगले lecture में देखेंगे. That is, connective tissue proper has got loose and dense. Supportive connective tissue is bone and cartilage, and fluid connective tissue is blood and lymph. तो कनेक्टिव टिश्यू के ये जो टाइप्स है, इसमें से कनेक्टिव टिश्यू प्रॉपर हमने आज किया, अब भी किया. उसमें लूज एंड डेंस ये करना बाकी है. सो लूज कनेक्टिव टिश्यू प्रॉपर एंड डेंस कनेक्टिव टिश्यू प्रॉपर विल सी इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास. फाइन. सो वी कंप्लीटेड विद द एपिथेलियल टिश्यू, वी हैव कंप्लीटेड विद द कनेक्टिव टिश्यू प्रॉपर के बेसिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. हैव यू ऑल अंडरस्टूड व्हाटएवर वी हैव डन? इज देयर एनी डिफिकल्टी दैट यू हैव नॉट अंडरस्टूड और समथिंग? Clear?
My doubts are in the message, ma'am.
You have sent any doubts?
Yes.
What is the difference between antibodies and antigen? Antigen is a foreign material. Antibody is a substance that is going to be made against the antigen. It's going to act like a fighting agent. So हमारे बॉडी में जो सोल्जर है बैठा हुआ है कोई भी इंट्रूडर के साथ फाइट करने के लिए, उसका नाम है एंटीबॉडी. और अगर कोई इंट्रूडर है, स्ट्रेंजर है जो हमारे बॉडी में घुस रहा है, उसका नाम है एंटीजन. ओके. What is plasma donation? I have not talked about the circulation chapter. How can I explain you what is plasma? So I have not even talked about connective tissue loose. Blood, lymph भी मैंने अभी तक पढ़ाया नहीं है, तो you will not understand what is plasma. When I talk about the blood, you will come to know blood के components, and that time you will understand what is plasma. Fine.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So I think we can stop for the day and see you all on Thursday with breathing and exchange का chapter. We have to go ahead on Thursday with that. Fine. चल तब तक के लिए bye बेटा. See you all. Take care.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. done, ma'am. Thank you.